Okay, so this is the back end for the app. Um, what I need to do is there's this concept of sailings, and it's exposed through this endpoint API v2 sailings. This is a copy of a feature that already existed in the app, and that feature is called Flash Sail. So I think maybe the easiest to show you is let's add a flash sail, and then you can see what it looks like in the app, and then we'll reproduce this. Okay, so this flash sail is expired, so let's extend it out. Okay, so it's active and it's published, so that's good. I'm gonna actually add some products. Okay. So let's go to the app. And you'll see it's loading right here. This is what a flash sail is. Now, we're not using flash sail in our version of the app, but we're gonna use this functionality in a very similar way. So you can see when you define a flash sail, it shows all the products underneath it. Yeah, and it has a countdown to when that flash sale ends. So you're going to reuse this functionality to do the concept of sailings. So let's go back to sailings. So I have only one active sailing right now. You can see it's active. If we go to the API, you can see it here. It's returning this to the app. But I'm going to, let's make these. Okay, so this one is pending, it's in the future. Let me just see if it shows here. Perfect, so the active one shows and this pending one shows. So this should give you a little bit of data to work from. Actually, let's also get a third one. Good. Okay, so now we have 3 sailings. So what you need to do is use this data to render these in a similar way as the flash sail. What you do is the one that, let me just see. So the one that Yeah, I need to update. I need to update the API. For some reason, it's not showing the text on these ones, so I'll fix that later. But what you need to do is the active sailing is the one that hasn't, the cutoff date hasn't expired yet. Okay, so if you look at these dates, this cutoff date is 11/17. This cutoff date is December 4th. So this one's before this one. And this cutoff date is 11/21, so it's after the cutoff date of this one. So this guy is actually the first sailing because we sort by cutoff date, and as long as this date hasn't passed, then this will be the active sailing. So what do I mean by that? We take the countdown date against this active sailing and display it in the app. So you see how it's showing this countdown? Just have it count down against the cutoff date of the nearest sailing that you get back from the API. Now the flash sail, it carousels the products I add to the flash sail. That's great. We need to change this carousel though, not to show products, but to show the actual sailings. So you're getting the image, so you can display the image on each card in the carousel. But what we need to do is display the start date, the active sailing that we're counting down on here. We need to display it in a card that maybe is highlighted a little bit different than the others because it means something to people. They want to know when that sailing is leaving. And down here, we'll just show the details, like the cutoff date is this, and the arrival date. So the discharge date needs to be displayed there as well. And then we need to display port of discharge and port of loading. But don't worry too much about that. We need to click on the sailing and we're going to add a new view to display the details of the sailing. So it'll be the image of the sailing, the name of the sailing. In this case, it's just Sail B, Sail A. So the name of the sailing will display here. There's no such thing as in stock or price. None of this would exist. Description, that would exist, but there's no review. Description would exist because we can include a description in the sailing. For simplicity, I didn't include it, but we'll have a description. And for port of loading and for port of discharge, we have to display it in this view as well for the sailing. And then also all the other data. So really the sailing view will just display all of this data except for status, created at, and updated at, and obviously the ID doesn't need to display. So just display all of this information here inside of the sailing view when you click on a sailing, okay? So hopefully that makes sense.